up? RedRaven here. Gonna do a little video blog / tutorial on how I have my equipment set up. I got a request on my YouTube video where I went over my studio equipment from this guy right here, DNB Physio, and he wanted to know how I have my mixer and audio interface and everything hooked up so that it works right, and I'm going to show you guys. So we'll start with the mixer. Obviously you can see I have my microphone plugged into it. Mixer's not on right now, but that's okay, it doesn't need to be. Alright, and then you see these two cords right here. Now, I don't know if you can read that, but that is the left and right outputs on the mixer. Alright, so if we follow these, they run into the back of my audio interface on two of the line ends. Okay, now that's pretty simple. Now, for the output on my interface, you can see it's these right here. Now, I have them split with these 1/4 inch Y splitters, and that's so that I can run them to both this and my crown amp at the same time. Now, normally you would run this directly into the back of your powered monitors, but since I don't have powered monitors, these run into a preamp, and then the preamp runs into the speakers. Okay, so if we follow these, you see that one goes to the in on my Crown XLS, and then the other one goes to the auxiliary in on my little Philips theater system thing. Alright, and then you see I have speaker wire running to these speakers on my desk. You can't see it on that one, but trust me, there's a speaker wire running to that speaker as well. Okay, now for the software side of things, audio interface wise, the way that I set the lexicon to actually process my audio is you go to your control panel. In Windows, I don't know about Mac, I don't use Macs. I'm not a fan of Macs, but that's a rant for a different time and place. So I know you can't really read this, but what you do is you go to your control panel and you go sounds and audio devices. Alright, and then this little box pops up. Now I am running Windows XP, so I'm not sure how this will look on Vista or 7, but what you do is you go to the hardware tab and you make sure that it's picking up the drivers for whatever audio interface you may be using, and I can see that I have my Lexicon USB audio 1 and 2 and Lexicon USB audio 3, 4, and then I have the direct device and Mac drivers also being recognized, but I don't need those. So then I go to the sound tab, whoops, the audio tab I mean, and I set my sound playback to my Lexicon USB audio 1-2 in/out. So that's the portion of my Lexicon that's playing back the sound, and for sound recording I have Lexicon USB 3, 4 in only. So if we go back to the back side of the interface, you'll notice that the mixer is actually running in to lines in 3 and 4, so that when I record it actually picks up my mics correctly. Alright, now he also asked how do I set up my USB keyboard. Alright, and that's pretty straightforward. You plug the USB into your computer, you install the updated drivers, and that's that. Now, if you give me a second here, I'll load Fruity Loops up and I'll show you where you go in that to have your MIDI devices pick up and work. So give my computer a minute to think. It is rather slow. Alright, we have Fruity Loops loaded. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the tools, options, and you're going to go MIDI settings. You can also bring this panel up by pressing F10. Okay, so for MIDI devices, you're going to press rescan MIDI devices. Okay, and then you'll get this little list here. Now you're going to highlight the MIDI device that you wish to use. It could be multiple devices, it could be just one device, and you're going to click this little light right here. It says enable, and that will activate the device and allow Fruity Loops to recognize it. Now for Fruity Loops to use my Lexicon Omega as the sound card, we click audio again, and then the input output drop down menu I selected ASIO for all of V2, Now my Omega does have its own ASIO drivers, but my computer, it just works better with the ASIO for all V2 drivers because my computer processor isn't very powerful. So then if we bring up the ASIO panel, I'm sure you all have recognized this. All you do is you highlight the power button next to the device you wish to use, and if I click this, whoops, clicked the wrong thing there. If we click this little plus sign, you'll notice that I have my in and out, alright, and this bar here is your latency. The lower the latency, the less delay between the device actually being played and it being processed and heard. So right now my latency is at 47 milliseconds because I'm working on a song that has a lot of things running and it just can't handle the low latency, which is fine because I'm not recording at the moment. And that is it. There's really not a whole lot to it. There's several tutorials on YouTube covering this already, but since somebody asked, I figured I'd go ahead and throw another one up there. If you have any questions on how to hook up your equipment or how to get it to work, or maybe you can't get it working right, go ahead and message me. Maybe I can help you troubleshoot it and get it working. So this is RedRaven. Peace and out.